my good people? Once again, it's your chill brother from another Mr. All About My Biz. I'm still out here handling my biz so I can take care of my future kids, y'all. Yo, I'm back, baby. I'm back and better than ever. Man, it's been almost a year. What? It's already been a year since we last conversed, man. But listen, some things got in the way, life got in the way. But listen, we're back. We're refocused. We revitalized. We're ready to go out here and make sure we make it happen as champions out here. So y'all know the deal. This is the Champions Now. It's TCL with your man Kyle Turner, man. If you don't already know, man, listen, please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is the Champions Lounge, where you'll find exclusive content each and every week from this point forward, where we're going to make sure we give you that barbershop talk, but make sure you leave with that Champions walk. Also, like, comment, and share with everybody. And I'm talking about every single person that you know. Put them on to TCL so that we can make this thing bigger and better each and every solitary week. All right, so listen, y'all already know the deal, but let me go ahead and give you the recap and the recoup of what the TCL, the Champions Lounge, is all about. All right, so listen, we get things going first with the opening tip. We get the B-ball bouncing. We get you the 1-2 hezzy on the way to the cup, on the way to the rack, and make sure you finish the lay as well. All right, we give you some basketball news from around the NBA. Then we switch gears and give you some NFL news with moving the chains as we go down the sideline, as we got Super Bowl Sunday coming up, as well as we finish the NFL season. Then we got my favorite part of the show with Stop Playing, where we give you the good, the bad, and the funny that was in the world of sports. And then we give you a little bit of moment to make sure you go ahead and get you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically prepared for the week to come with the championship speech of the week, so you can be fearless, focused, and ferocious. All right. So listen, the topic of discussion for the show is breaking the press. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that with the championship speech of the week. So listen, enough of the fluff, enough of the formalities. Let's get right into the stuff. Let's get right into the opening tip, baby. So listen, y'all, we got the opening tip. We got the NBA All-Star Weekend coming up. But before we get to the All-Star Weekend, we got NBA trade deadline season is already here. Bombshell coming out of Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, where you at? But not in a good way if you're a Nets fan. Kyrie Irving getting shipped out to Dallas, going to team up with Luka the Don. Here's the details of the trade. Kyrie on his way to Dallas. Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, first-round pick in 2027, a couple of second-round picks on the way to Brooklyn. Yo, what does this mean for Dallas in a jam-packed Western Conference right now? There are no formalities that he's going to get a max extension with Dallas, but I mean, the combo and the duo of Uncle Drew and Luka the Don in the West. Listen, I already know LeBron James is crying in the shower. Y'all know it's been a year. I had to go ahead and get my LeBron pun in there real quick. But listen, I know he's crying in the shower. He's like, yo, I can't win. I still got another year that I got to spend with Russell Westbrook, which I probably shouldn't have been a GM with that and get him over here to LA, because it ain't been working out. It just has not been working out for you. Okay, LeBron, you should have not been the GM in that trade to get Russ over there in LA, but I digress. But listen, we're talking about Uncle Drew. We're talking about Luka and that type of duo in Dallas. Dallas was desperate for another superstar with Luka Doncic. He was doing it by himself. Now you got Jason Kidd, Luka Doncic, and Kyrie Irving. You got two perennial floor generals. One that likes to shoot the rock a whole lot. The other one that just knows how to make sure he gets everybody where they need to be. It's a combo almost made in heaven. It's almost like, yo, when you put the right Twix and left Twix together and you combine them together, they're just as sweet as they can be. Both of them together with the basketball in their hand. I mean, when one goes to the bench, the other one's on the floor as well. I mean, you couldn't get any better. And I know Mark Cuban is smiling ear to ear that this deal actually got done. So for Brooklyn, though, they got Spencer Dinwiddie back. They got Dorian Finney-Smith as well to be a wing defender who's actually going to shoot the ball, unlike Ben Simmons. But anyway, you got two guys that can actually score the basketball. But what does that mean for KD? KD is now like Will Smith when it's just an empty house. It's just Kevin Durant by himself right now. That's what's going on. It's just KD by himself. Who do you got? Spencer Dinwiddie, fringe all-star. Dorian Finney Smith, a nice 3-and-D guy. You got Ben Simmons. That's what you got. You got Nicholas Claxton playing the best basketball of his career right now. But is that really going to put you over the top? I would not be surprised if Kevin Durant said, all right, listen, it's time for me to go ahead and bounce too. No James Harden, no Kyrie. Listen, I might as well get up out of Dodge too. Some teams maybe to look out for. Could it be a reunion back in the Bay for KD? I don't want to see that, though. I'm just saying. I mean, you got KD, you got Steph, you got Clay, you got Draymond. Bring the band back together again. I don't really want to see that, honestly. I just don't. I mean, would it be good for basketball? Maybe, depending on who you are. But I don't want to see that. You know, you got Golden State possibly. You got Phoenix in the mix. You got Miami. Those are the three teams that maybe if KD's like, listen, I don't want to hang around for all this. Get me up out of here. That could be a play that's made as well. But Kyrie and Luka and Dallas, is Dallas now the front runner for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference after this trade? What say you? Leave your comments in the show notes. And your chill brother from another one. Make sure we talk about that on next week's show. All right, switching gears. We were just talking about the All-Star Weekend. The All-Star Weekend is quickly approaching us. You know, we got the All-Star starters. We got the All-Star reserves. We got some, you know, every year we got this head-scratching who really should be a starter, who really should be a reserve. I don't really know how these coaches and fans go about this, but listen, here's the starters on the East and the West. Starting from the East, right? We got Tatum, KD, Kyrie, but maybe that's not going to be the same anymore now. We got Donovan Mitchell, and we got Giannis on the Eastern side for starters. On the West side, we got Steph, Luka, Zion, Bron, and Jokic, rounding out the 5 for the Western Conference starters. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey, okay? We got the reserves. We got PG-13, SGA. Shout out to my young boy from the OKC Thunder, first All-Star appearance. We got Jaren Jackson Jr., his first All-Star appearance. We got Ja, Dame, Lauri Markkanen making his first All-Star appearance. Listen, he's probably the most improved player of the year right now with his play for the Utah Jazz. And we got Domantas Sabonis rounding out everything from the Sacramento Kings. For the East side, we got Bam, Joel Embiid, DeMar DeRozan, Jaylen Brown, Julius Randle, Drew Holiday, and Tyrese Halliburton rounding out the reserves. And I know my man Tyrese Halliburton is happy to be a first-time All-Star so we can stick it to Wally Zerbiak. Yo, don't run in your mouth, Wally. I'm sorry. You were only a 10 and 12 point per game scorer in the NBA, and Tyrese Halliburton is leading the NBA in assists per game right now. Watch your mouth, old school. All right? But anyway, got some head-scratching things, some guys. I don't know how in the world Joel Embiid, who's leading the NBA in scoring, is not an all-star starter. First things first. I know the fans are going to be like, yo, I don't know if the fans were caught up in the moment when Donovan Mitchell dropped 71, but Joel Embiid is averaging 33.6 points per game. He's shooting 39% from three, 51% from the field, top 5 in rebounding, top 5 in blocks per game, and he's not a starter? What? Make that make sense, Sway? Make that make sense. All right, then Drew Holiday. No disrespect to Drew. I love Drew Holiday. But how do you not have Jalen Brunson as an all-star? My man is averaging about 23 numbers a game, 47% from the field, 40% from three, 6.2 assists, 4 rebounds, and the Knicks are not the Knicks that are probably in the playoffs right now without Jalen Brunson's contributions. Just saying. For the West, how in the world is PG-13, who's missed almost half the games this season, an all-star reserve? I don't understand that. I got 2 guys that could easily have been all-star reserves. Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is the point guard for the 3rd-ranked team in the Western Conference right now, the Sacramento Kings, who probably have the coach of the year and Mike Brown, because Ain't nobody in the world thought the Sacramento Kings would be third in the Western Conference this year. If you did, raise your hand. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Yeah. Me either. Okay. Third in the West, get out of here. But De'Aaron Fox, 24.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 6 assists, 50% from the field, 34% from three-point range, and you're not an all-star reserve? Only missed 2 games. Paul George missed 25 games so far this year. Coaches make it make sense. Jaren Jackson Jr., no disrespect, young fella. 16 numbers a game, you get your rebounds, you lead the NBA in blocks right now. But ain't no way in the world you should have got in over the Ant-Man, okay? Over the course of January, my man went crazy. 30 points per game, doing it all over the floor for Minnesota without Karl Anthony Towns right now. For the season, 24.8 points, 46% from the field, 38% from the great beyond, 6 rebounds per contest, and 4.5 assists a game. How in the world is Anthony Edwards not an all-star reserve? I need to know. I need to know. Coaches, what y'all looking at? Just seriously, okay? What say you? Who was the all-star snub that you feel like deserved to be on the team this year that didn't get on? All right? Let your chill brother know what's up. We'll talk about it on next week's show as well. All right? Last things for the opening tip. Give you the poll for the MVP race right now. And, yo, this is probably the most parity in the NBA in quite some while, okay? You got so many great players. Any probably between 5 and 8 players could be MVP this year, depending on whatever case that you want to put for all of them, okay? But here's my top 3. I got Jokic at number 1. I mean, he's a 2-time reigning MVP, but he's averaging a 26-point triple-double. 26 points per game, about 10.5 rebounds, 10 assists per game. You got numbers like that, you got to kind of be leading the front house right now. You know, then you got Luka, most unstoppable guard in the NBA, with a team with Dallas that really doesn't have anybody but Luka. But now you got Kyrie. We'll see what happens with that. You got number 3. It's a toss-up for me between Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum leading the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, and even the NBA in some cases with the Boston Celtics. Got Joel Embiid. Already made the case for Joel a little while ago. But listen, when you got Giannis in there as well, you might be able to add Steph. You know, maybe LeBron because of what type of season he's been having, and he's on his way to becoming an all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Listen, y'all, as much as I don't care about LeBron, and I'll give you a whole side note with this, but gotta respect the man. Got 4 NBA championships. About to become the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. You're number 4 in assists all time. Probably going to be number 1 in the next couple of years. I mean, my man's going to have every record. Probably. By the time his career is over. Respect you, I still don't care about your flopping. I still don't care about your crying. I still don't care about none of that. But seriously, all-time leading scorer in NBA history, much respect. Either way, you could have between 1 to 5, 6 different players that could have a legitimate case for MVP. But those are my top 3. Who are your top 3 in the clubhouse? All right. I got Jokic, Luka, Embiid, and Tatum could be a toss-up. 3A, 3B. Okay. What say you? Leave your comments in the show notes, and we'll be sure to get back to that on next week's show as well. Listen, y'all, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we got Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to give you my predictions on the other side. Don't touch that dial. Come back for more of what you came here for right here on TCL, baby. What's going on, family? Welcome back inside the Champions Lounge. It's your main man, Kyle Turner, once again, y'all. Listen, I need you guys to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is the Champions Lounge. Also, follow us on IG as well at _champions_lounge, because we're going to make sure every single week from this point forward, we're going to make sure we give you that barbershop talk and make sure you leave with that champion's walk, man. Listen, we just trying to rebuild this thing back better than ever. I don't want to use Donald Trump's line, "Make America Great Again." I don't want to use that, but I want to make TCL better again. That's my whole slogan. I don't know if y'all like that, but listen, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna run with that. Okay, we're just trying to make the Champions Lounge better again. Here with your main man, Kyle. Listen, also follow me on IG at Mr. All About My Biz, because I'm out here handling my biz so I can take care of my future kids, man. All right. So listen, it is Black History Month, and you know I gotta pay homage to those that have paved the way before me, and that will come after me as well. I mean, the future is even brighter than ever before. But listen, in the world of sports, we can't go forward without going back. And with all that being said, it's time for the Black History Month trivia question of the day. So, with that being said, who were the first two Black head coaches to face off in the Super Bowl? I need you guys to name the coaches, name the teams, and name the final score. I need you guys to tell me the final score. Again, who were the first two head coaches to square off in the Super Bowl? Name the coaches, name the teams, and give me the final score. All right, I'm going to let you sit, ponder, and marinate on that, and we'll be sure to talk about that before we get into one of my favorite parts of the show, with Stop Playing. All right? So listen, it's that time of the show where it's time for us to move down the sideline, catch the deep ball, and make sure you stay in bounds. It's time for us to move the chains. All right, y'all. So we got moving the chains. The NFL season is winding down, and we got two teams that are in the Super Bowl in Arizona. We got a flock of Eagles going to the desert, and we got the Chiefs of Kansas City. This has pretty much been coined the Andy Reid Bowl. Andy Reid spent a good portion of his career, maybe more than half of his career, as a head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and now he's the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs for the better part of the last 11 years, and he gets to square off against his old team. He's the fifth head coach to square off against his old team in the Super Bowl. And, we're going to have to see what happens in Arizona. So let me give you the tale of the tape. You got Pat Mahomes. You got Jalen Hurts. They're the first black quarterbacks to square off in Super Bowl history. We got some black history going on, man. And Black History Month. You got to love it, right? So we got Hurts. We got Mahomes. We got a defense in Philly that has 70 sacks on the season. They're 5 sacks away from having an all-time NFL record for sacks in that season. That's some serious stuff right there. You got Hassan Reddick. You got 19 and a half sacks. You got Brandon Graham. He got 12. You got Hargrave. He got 12. You got a couple of guys, man, flirting with 12 and 8 sacks. I mean, all over the place. It's crazy. So you got this Philly defense, and you got the secondary with Darius Slay. You got James Bradbury back there. But, you can never count out Kansas City when you got Mahomes, Kelsey. You got some guys, McCole Hardman. You got Juju Smith-Schuster, and you got MVS. Both teams got a whole lot of talent on both sides of the ball. You got Devonta Smith. You got A.J. Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles. These two teams are evenly matched. Other than the defense, got to give the edge to Philly with the defense. Kansas City trying to see if they can maybe balance things out for Mahomes. Offense is going to be there. Defense has kind of a little shaky, but Steve Spagnuolo has done a great job throughout the playoffs so far, keeping this defense well balanced and making sure that KC has still had a chance to win these games, including the AFC Championship game. It's been a toss-up this whole week, but I think I'm going to go with the Eagles, to the chagrin of my wife, who's a New York Giants fan. But I just feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, they got enough in the tank to win the Super Bowl by 3. I got Philly 27-24 over KC. What say you? What's your prediction for the Super Bowl? Does Mahomes get it done? Or does Jalen Hurts get and put the hurt on Kansas City Chiefs and win his first Super Bowl? What say you? Leave your comments in the show notes, and we'll talk about that on next week's show. All right, switching gears from the Super Bowl to a guy that's been to the Super Bowl a whole lot. Tom Brady finally maybe has called it a career. He went on social media earlier this week and said, listen, y'all, it's a wrap for me. And it just makes me think about, is it really the end? I need to know. Are you gonna pull a three-peat and be like, all right, I'm gonna take a year off and then I'm gonna come back and try to beat Father Time? I need to know. I mean, because this is some foolishness. You're 45 years old. And no disrespect, you done went through a divorce this particular season, and you still, found a way to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into the playoffs. But seriously, Tom Brady, you got 7 Super Bowls. Now, 2 of those are real questionable because you got Deflategate and you got some other different things like that. You kind of cheated your way a little bit. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your personal life. But at the same time, all these accomplishments within your career, 7 Super Bowl wins. Those first 3 were really the defense. I mean, you had Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law. You had some really Hall of Fame talent defenders for New England when he went on that 3-peat after taking over for Drew Bledsoe. But seriously, I mean, when you think about game-winning drives, you think about TB12. It's been quite an amazing year and an amazing career for Tom Brady. If this is really the end, going out as the greatest of all time, man. I mean, the absolute greatest ever. All-time leading passing yards in NFL history. The plethora of awards goes on and on. MVPs as well. TB12, salute you, man. Salute you on an amazing career. And if this is really the end, it's been a great ride. All right. Will this be the end for Tom Brady? Or will he pull, another Michael Jordan and try to come back for maybe a 3-peat to try to beat Father Time? What say you? All right. Leave your comments in the show notes. And your chill brother from another. We'll be back and we'll talk about that on next week's show as well. Finishing things up with moving the chains. We got some unfortunate news coming out of Denver. The Denver Broncos have signed Sean Payton as their new head coach. Now, those of you that know me know that I'm an avid LA Chargers fan. Big time LT fan, etc. Sean Payton going to the Broncos, it really breaks my heart. I really wanted Brandon Staley to be fired this year. After you lose a game, after being up 27-0 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you find a way to lose the game, you deserve to be fired. However, in normal Chargers fashion, we fire the offensive coordinator and not the head coach. Why? Because we're the Chargers. Gotta take a second to breathe. Do some Musa like Martin on Bad Boys. But Sean Payton is the head coach of the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos now, they got money. Obviously, the owners, they got Walmart money. They got money to blow. They don't have no problem signing Sean Payton because they're ready to win, and they're ready to win right now. But my question is, can he actually bring the best out of Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, 34 years old now, had probably the worst season of his career last year with Nathaniel Hackett, who, ironically enough, is going to the New York Jets, which, ironically enough, could be a team that makes a run for Aaron Rodgers. We'll see how that goes on, too. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers on this show, not this week, because he's on every show on ESPN every single day. I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers right now. Anyway, we're going to talk about Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos had one of the top defenses in the NFL last year. Their offense is the main component that let them down. I'm interested to see how Sean Payton and Russell Wilson's relationship is. Russell Wilson, to some people, is a prima donna. Don't spend a whole lot of time with his teammates. Has a whole bunch of things going on outside of the football field that rubs a lot of his teammates the wrong way. Doesn't have that type of close-knit relationship that most quarterbacks do have with their team when you're the guy. And you just got paid $250 million, bro. Might want to pay attention to your teammates, man. I'm just saying. But Sean Payton is coming in and like, listen, what this guy came in and did last year, we ain't doing none of that. I know how to win. I've won with Drew Brees before and the New Orleans Saints. I know how to get it done, and I will get it done with you guys if you go ahead and listen to what I got to say. But two different offensive schemes. Russell Wilson likes to get outside the pocket. Drew Brees was primarily a pocket quarterback. So we'll see how these two are able to mesh. And can he bring out the best in Russ so that he can let Russ cook? We'll see. Can Sean Payton revitalize Russell Wilson's career, or is pretty much Russell Wilson a shell of himself? What say you? Leave your comments in the show notes, and your brother will get back to you on next week's show as well for that. All right, so we're going to take a quick time out, y'all. When we come back, I'm going to give you the answer to the trivia question, the Black History Month trivia question of the day, and then we're going to get into one of my favorite parts of the show with Stop Playing. Don't move anywhere. You're come on back for more on the other side. This is the Champions Lounge, baby. What's going on, my good people? Once again, it's your chill brother from another Mr. All About My Biz. Still out here handling my biz so I can take care of my future kids, man. Welcome back inside the Champions Lounge with your main man, Kyle Turner, man. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, please continue to like, comment, and share. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is the Champions Lounge where, listen, we're going to make sure we give you that barbershop talk, but make sure you leave with that Champions walk, man. We ain't trying to be regular. Ain't going to be no half-stepping around here. We're going from good to great to elite right here on TCL. Listen, also follow the IG page as well at _champions. I'm sorry. Yeah, _champions_lounge, where we'll continue to help push the product that is the Champions Lounge out, man. Listen, also at the bottom of the screen, man, we're going to have some merch for you. We're working on some merch as well. Got a new logo on the way, so y'all stay tuned for that as well. And we're going to have that at the bottom of the show notes, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at our store where we're going to have merchandise for you. Man, we're doing things bigger and better here on the Champions now, man. All right, so listen, before we get to Stop Playing, let me go ahead and give you guys the Black History Month trivia question of the day, all right? So listen, the trivia question of the day was, who were the first two African-American coaches to face off in the Super Bowl? Name the coaches, name the team, and name the final score. So back about 16 years ago, we had Lovie Smith taking on Tony Dungy. We had the Indianapolis Colts squaring off against the Chicago Bears in Miami. And the final score ended up being the Indianapolis Colts over the Chicago Bears, 29-17, as Tony Dungy was able to raise the Lombardi Trophy with Peyton Manning. Great history right there as two coaches that paved the way for other African-American coaches to be in a prominent position in the NFL. All right? So listen, y'all. Let's switch gears. It's that time of the show where we give you the good, the bad, and the funny. It's time for Stop Playing. Get into it at number 5 on this week's edition of Stop Playing. It's going to be primarily a little bit about basketball. I know we got football coming on Sunday, but yo, we had a lot of crazy things happening in basketball. All right, so let's go to number 5. Number 5, we had the celebration of LeBron. He just passed Kareem for the most points all time in NBA history. crazy feat, right? You would think that everybody would be in the celebration mode, right? Not so much. AD, you see, is on the bench where he's not a celebrator. It seemed like he's more of a tolerator. I don't know. It looked a little shaky in LA if AD can't celebrate LeBron, and he's the one that helped get you to LA and actually help you become a champion. I don't know, AD. That look a little questionable, man. Yo, AD, you might want to stop playing before you get up out of LA. I don't know. Number 4. Let's go to number 4 real quick. Jaylen Brown. What can Brown do for you? He's been linked to trade rumors a lot over the last couple of years, but man, that 1-2 combo with JB and JT is having Boston at the top of the Eastern Conference food chain right now. But on this particular play, Jaylen Brown just couldn't put it down.
So very well as Brown steals it and he misses the jam.
Today, but Jaylen Brown, he didn't have enough ups to be able to put this ball down on this play on the fast break. Yo, Jaylen Brown, come on, bro. Stop playing, all right? Number three, somebody that can get up a little bit, get up to get down, Norman Powell. Yo, on this particular play, he had to let Julius Randle know, yo, listen, man, respect your elders. Respect your elders. Even though you're a little younger, I'm going to let you know I still got a little lift in these legs here. Norman Powell with some pow on Julius Randle.
Leonard draws a double in the corner. Crisp ball movement. Powell attacks. Oh, my goodness. Hello, nasty. Norman Powell destroys Randle inside.
Norman Powell putting a little bit of on Julius Randle. And, LA had to take down New York on this particular day. Norman Powell, my man, stop playing, all right? Go to number 2. Joel Embiid. I know it happened a couple of weeks ago, but, it was a matchup between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. And, Joel Embiid, my man had Jokic for breakfast, lunch, and dinner a couple of weeks ago. My man had 47-18 and was just eating all night long on Jokic. And Joel Embiid said, listen, man, you need to put some respect on my name. Y'all want to make me an all-star reserve when I deserve to be a starter? You going to do this to me? Joel Embiid said, I'm going to let you know who I am. Joel Embiid just showed that he's a different breed, man. He slaughters Jokic, and, he might have a true legitimate case for being the MVP. Joel Embiid, stop playing. Come on, bro. Stop playing. All right, then we go to number 1, and, it pains me to say this a little bit, but gotta show the man respect. LeBron James becomes the all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
Looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Bron, kid from Akron, 4-time NBA champion, and now all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Stop playing. Stop playing. Year 20, still putting up crazy numbers, and legitimately has a chance to possibly be MVP again. We'll see. LeBron James, stop playing. All right? Gotta stop playing for this week, y'all. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, I'm going to get you right for the week to come with the championship speech of the week, where we get you fearless, focused, and ferocious to make sure you conquer the week that is to come, all right? So y'all go ahead, stay tuned. Y'all come on back for more of what you came here for right here on the Champions Lounge, baby. Welcome back inside the Champions Lounge. It's your man, Kyle Turner, man. Listen, I'm so glad you guys decided to join me on this ride as we are rebooting and rebuilding the Champions Lounge, man. Listen, I got to give a special shout out to my editor, Q, behind the scenes, making sure that everything flows seamlessly. And yo, brother, I appreciate you. Also, gotta give a special shout out to the executive producer of the Champions Lounge. This episode, my beautiful wife, making sure the light's right, making sure I'm centered with the camera, making sure my energy level is where it needs to be. And I hope I'm doing it justice. Appreciate you, babe. Thank you for being who you are and just kind of helping bring this back into the play in regards to the vision that is the Champions Lounge. Listen, I appreciate all of you guys rocking with me as well. Listen, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel that is the Champions Lounge, because we're going to make sure we give you that barbershop talk, but make sure you leave with that Champions Walk. Also, again, I'm going to leave in the show notes where you can get some new merch. You're going to find a new logo as well. Please, please support as we're continuing to help build this thing back up, man, because listen, we can't be regular, and we ain't regular, all right? We're going from good to great to elite because we got elite status on our lives, all right? So listen, it's that time of the show where I help you be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically prepared to be fearless, focused, and ferocious for the week to come. Listen, it's that time of the show where it's time for the championship speech of the week. Listen, family, this is for all of us, okay? As we talked about in the beginning, the topic of discussion is breaking the press. And, you know, we're living in a time now where there's so many different pressures with life. And, you know, the inner pressure that you feel on a daily basis to be better than you were yesterday. I know I'm my worst critic, my worst inner critic anyway, as well. Just a plug in there as well. Please go to Amazon and get Louisa Handy's self-love workbook. Please get that. That is great. Please go to Amazon. Self-love workbook. It is an awesome read for you and the inner critic to silence the inner critic inside of you. Also, just a little plug in there as well. All right, but we were talking about breaking past the press. And the press that we all feel, the inner pressure that we feel, and breaking past the outer noise, and even the noise that we produce within inside of ourselves as well, right? Great coaches prepare their team for pressure-packed situations. And depending on what your inner circle looks like, they help motivate you to keep you appreciative of where you are in life and grateful for all the different things that you still have left to still do in life, you know? But if you're always looking at it from the negative lens, then you'll always continue to feed yourself from that negative fuel, like sorrow, depression, despair, anxiety, worry, fear, stress, etc. You'll continue to feed yourself all of that and wonder why life hasn't moved forward. Listen, I'm there in certain parts. I know we all have experienced it as well, where it's like, man, I feel like I'm doing a lot, but I'm getting nowhere. I feel like I'm moving, but I'm not really moving. I feel like maybe, am I stuck in quicksand, or do I got cinder blocks on my feet? You know what I'm saying? It feels like that a lot of the times because of the inner pressure and then the outer pressure that we feel on a daily basis. But a lot of us, we know we got to keep moving, but it's like, am I really progressing? Am I really getting to a point where I'm actually doing something productive in life? Or am I just occupying time? You feel me? It's like that a lot of the times, you know? In basketball, you got coaches that prepare you for the full court press, the half court press, double teams, etc. In football, coaches prepare you for the blitz, zone blitz, drop man coverage, zone coverage, and the 2-minute drill. You know what I'm saying? They prepare you for those particular things. The Greg Popoviches of the world, the Bill Belichick's. Those are the type of mastermind coaches that are, listen, even in pressure situations, I need you to relax your mind. I need you to stay cool, calm, and collected and be poised under pressure. And listen, life is so hard because you got to make sure that your emotional intelligence is right. You got to make sure your adaptability quotient is where it needs to be so you can adapt and adjust to different situations without allowing the pressure to get to you. It is so easy to say and so difficult to execute at times. But listen, in this year, we're moving beyond what is seem like impossible and making sure we execute it so that it is possible to break past the press, break past the sorrow, the despair, the stagnancy, those things that are keeping us pretty much in a prison of our own self. You know what I'm saying? The pain, the problems, the weaknesses that we have. Listen, it's totally up to us whether or not we're allowing that negative fuel to keep us bound or to help use the positive fuel to push us beyond what we even think, even of our own selves. Are all the negative forces keeping you stale, stagnant, and sorrowful? Listen, break past all of that. We're all going to break past all of that in this year and in this season of our life. Every day is full of choices to surround yourself with the right fuel of affirmations, your prayer time, and also meditation for your own self. Because listen, keeping your mind right, that's a difficult task on a daily basis, man. There's so many different obstacles that we got to face. But when we keep our mind right, that means we keep our spirit right, which then helps move different things in our life. The obstacles that we thought were really to our detriment, really helping us become a better person than we were the day before. All right, so before I leave you guys out, man, listen, when we find a way to break past the press of our pain, our problems, and our weaknesses, we'll find out a lot more that what we thought was really too much pressure was really more in our head than what really our reality really looked like. All right, so listen, man, keep that in mind. Be fearless, focused, and ferocious. We got a whole lot to conquer in this year 2023. And please believe we're going to get there because we're going from good to great to elite because we ain't regular around here, all right? It's your chill brother from another signing out for another episode of the Champions Lounge, man. Listen, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on IG as well. It's your chill brother Kyle Turner signing out. Listen, peace and love. Y'all have a great week, all right? I'm out.